Okay, so a lot of y'all are reaching out to us and saying, what can we do? What can we do? What actions can we take now? Do not donate to us. Don't donate to any national organizations at this moment. I would highly recommend you find local organizations in your community that are serving women. Not even just to donate to them, volunteer with them, things like that. Absolutely do all of that. But because knowing what these resources are is going to be vitally important. I would highly recommend finding them all, putting them together on a blog or a website, or if you don't fucks with the internet, a piece of paper that you carry around with you. But have these resources available in case you come across a woman in crisis, because that is going to be happening. So I am not just talking pregnancy centers and, maternity homes. Like, there is a need for that with certain women that you're going to come across, but for the most part, it's going to be the bigger stuff that you hadn't even thought about, and you don't want to be caught on the spot having to Google these resources and trying to figure out which places are safe or credible and where you're going to be able to take her, when they're open, what their hours are, right? So I'm talking domestic abuse shelters, I'm talking food pantries, women's shelters, a woman struggling with mental health issues, all of these things. There's actually an amazing website called hermichiana.com, and I'll put it somewhere on this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. They have a great template for what a truly consistent life ethics society looks like. Here are all the resources that you should be offering in your community. And I believe they're up in South Bend, somewhere around there. But follow that template. Find these resources in your own community. Compile them, put them all in one place, get that information out as far and wide as you can so that you can help women who are facing, again, myriad of crises, not even just unplanned pregnancies, but any crisis a woman could be going through that she needs help with. Second thing, volunteer, donate. These are incredibly important things. Even if it's $5 a month, $10 a month, make a commitment. If we all did that, these places would be so well resourced and so much more able to help women. If you have time to volunteer and can commit to doing that weekly, absolutely amazing, beautiful, do it. I know not everybody has that time, although a lot of people are spending a lot of time fighting on the internet. So I don't know. I do feel like we have a little bit more time than we think, but maybe it's not that structured. Okay, so find a woman in your community right now that you can drive to a doctor's appointment. You can watch her child for. You can take her a meal. These are all things that create this life culture that any one of us can do. You can go donate blood next week. We have women who are scared, right? Especially women of color when it comes to childbirth and the inequities that they're seeing. There are tiny ways that are huge ways to actually help people. So get creative, figure out what those are. I know a lot of people, it's constantly just call your legislator, call your elected officials. Yes, do that. That's vitally important. But don't just call them about the obvious things. I would say, especially right now, we went from there being one law to 50. Pay attention to what these laws actually are. See what they're actually allowing. Because when we're talking about ectopic pregnancies and septic uteruses, and these things are vitally important, are there exceptions in your state's actual law when it comes to that? Pro-life people especially need to be at the very front line, demanding that a woman's life is protected. That is incredibly, incredibly important. And it's going to mean more coming from the constituents who have put them in office. So please, please, please read the fine print. Make sure that you know what's happening and call them with those specific concerns. And make sure that you are telling them that we are always going to protect the life of the mother. If a mother dies, the child dies. This is such a common sense thing. I can't even believe that it has to be brought up. But at the same time, legislators aren't doctors, obviously, which is what we hear a lot, but they aren't even thinking about these things. So if you're more politically minded, do it that way. If, I've said before, look at the excess. Where is the excess in your own life? So if you are someone with time, volunteer. If you're someone with excess money, donate. If you're somebody with an extra room in your house, find a woman who needs shelter and give her temporary housing. Help her with her other children, right? Watch her children for her so she can go to work. There are so many different ways that we have excess. Oh, I've got this old car that, I was planning on selling. No, donate that to a mom who needs it so that she's not having to commute across town to get to work and to get her children, and she's barely hanging on and holding things together. We all have something that we can give because we all have some level of excess. Maybe it's excess time, maybe it's excess money, maybe it's excess goods and resources. Figure out what that is this week. Figure out where your talents lie. Not everybody is meant to be on the front lines doing something or interacting with people and volunteering in that way, but you know what? Maybe you can do data entry for a domestic abuse shelter. Maybe you can help them, at 10 at night when everybody's asleep and you're an insomniac, and I'm talking about myself now, and you can enter the information to them to help their organization run more smoothly. We have to get creative. We have to think out of the box, but there are so many different ways that we can be helping to create this life culture, that we should have been helping to create this life culture, but now it has to happen. It has to happen. And I'm glad that you guys are motivated to do it. I know a lot of y'all have already been doing it because we have an awesome community here. And so thank you, but continue to do it. Consider stepping it up. These are all the ways that we can move forward and help women, because everyone's really scared right now. Something was taken away. What are we going to give them back? How are we going to help them and resource them and love them well? There's something you can do. Please do it.